USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
It will be a history-making day for America's highest court, as we hear from USA Radio's John Hunt.
After a 2-month hiatus caused by the coronavirus pandemic, the Supreme Court resumes oral arguments today using 20th century technology to help resolve a 21st century legal issue. The justices will not gather in their marble courtroom, but will instead participate in a telephone conference call with lawyers involved in the case and members of the court dialing in separately, a first for the Supreme Court.
Some non-essential businesses are getting the green light to reopen today in Arizona, Arkansas, Montana, Kansas, Colorado, and in Minnesota. Starting today, all Costco shoppers nationwide are going to have to wear masks. Kids under the age of 2 and people who can't wear masks because of medical conditions will be exempt. And you're listening to USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% vine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Don't wait to see what getting over 10 servings of whole fruits and vegetables every day can do for you. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
President Trump is attacking former fellow Republican President George W. Bush for, in Trump's words, not speaking up during his impeachment. On Twitter, the current commander-in-chief attacked his predecessor, saying that he was, quote, nowhere to be found at the time. Trump's comments come after Bush's presidential center released a video on Saturday where the 43rd president urged unity and not partisanship during the coronavirus pandemic. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio says without another federal stimulus package for states and cities, most will not be able to restart their economies. The Democratic mayor says he's been hard hit by the coronavirus, especially his city, struggling to pay employees in the wake of the downturn. The mayor's comments coming on the heels of the White House economic advisor Kevin Hassert saying another round of COVID-19 relief legislation may not be needed.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio, this is HIP Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the HIP Radio Network Weather Center. Clear skies and quiet today with a high of 93. Winds out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 70 tonight. Overcast. Overcast skies again tomorrow. Chance for scattered showers, high of 85. High of 84 Wednesday, under partly cloudy skies. 90 Thursday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 71 degrees.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
Hey, good morning, Georgetown, Texas. It is 7:01 a.m. on May the 4th. I think it's called May the 4th Be With You is how they talk about it on this day. I was never a big Star Wars fan, and that's my understanding. It is May the 4th. Starting things here in Georgetown, Texas. Waking up a little muggy this morning, too. You heard there from Paul Trombley here on HRN from our Weather Center. 71 degrees to start things here on a Monday morning. Very muggy morning, but it should shape up to be a pretty good day. And then as we move on throughout the week, we're going to have temperatures in the 90s, and then things are going to cool back off over the weekend. We should have a really nice weekend setting up with us. But hope everybody had a wonderful and blessed weekend. We are so excited to start a brand new week here on Good Morning Georgetown. This show is always made possible in part by our good friends at the Oak Ridge Disciple House. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based Christian character building ministry, a 501c3 nonprofit helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, check them out online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Well, I'm excited this morning. We have a guest that's been on the show, and I'll have to ask her because it's been a while. It's probably been at least a year, if not more, but we're excited to have our good friends from Faith in Action Georgetown back on our show. It is Miss Vickie Orcutt. Good morning, Vickie. How are you doing today? I got you on video this morning.
Not a problem. Doing well, Rob. How about yourself?
I am doing wonderful. It's so good to see you again. You know, we're still taking things pretty cautiously here at HRN. We're able to do these Zoom meetings. It's going to be nice when we can finally get people back into the studio, though, but this is working for now. So it's so good to see you. How was your weekend, Vickie?
You know, it was really great. I enjoyed being outdoors and, soaking up some of the sun and just getting some of the heat. You know, after being indoors, it gets a little stuffy. So it was nice to be out this weekend.
Well, how have things been going with you? And we'll talk more here just a little bit about, of course, Faith in Action. But for you and your family, how have things been going through this pandemic?
Thank you for asking. We're doing very well. Everybody is safe. I think the hardest thing for us, since we're not in the same community, is we don't have that opportunity to drive by and wave at our homes. So we've been doing everything by Zoom. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to be able to actually see my children and grandchildren.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I know everybody's just, it's weird how all this has happened. You know, I woke up this morning, Vickie, and I said, how is it already May? That just does not make sense. And time had gotten away from me so bad, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I just finally got the Christmas lights down about a week ago. So that was way too long.
Hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
I wasn't burning them, though. You know, that would be a different story. So, well, Vickie, tell us a little bit. I think it's been, I want to say, my goodness, I know it's been over a year. It's probably been closer to 2 years since you've been on the show. We had you, of course, on KGTN 106.7 then, and Ken Covington and I were there. I think it's been that long, though.
Yeah, I think it's been 2 years. So, and it's, gosh, how time flies, for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Well, before we talk about Faith in Action, I always like to give our audience just a little bit of an opportunity to get to know our guests, to get to know you. Do you mind telling us kind of a little bit of your story, how you got here to Georgetown, and just a little bit more about you, if you don't mind, Vickie?
Absolutely. So I'm originally from the Dallas area, and my husband and I went down to the Rio Grande Valley many years ago to manage a Christian camp. And throughout that time, I found that there was an opportunity for me to go back to school. And I got my bachelor's, and then I went on and got my master's in social work. And my internship was in Austin, working for an organization, a nonprofit who worked with seniors. But my internship location was actually more here in Georgetown. So I was getting to survey the needs of seniors here in Georgetown. And that was back in 2011. So I worked with the Georgetown Aging Initiative, which went on to form the Commission on Aging with our city. And so the work that I did and all the data gathering and what have you helped to just kind of lay the forward for me to be here in Georgetown. And so it was great that after my internship that my husband and I decided to move to Georgetown. And we've been here, like I said, since about 2011. It's just been a pure joy getting connected with the community. I was a part of the Georgetown Ministerial Alliance, and it was kind of funny that when I announced that we were moving here, I had invites from everybody. Come visit our church, come visit our church. And so I did. And so it was just amazing to get to continue to see the faith of the community. And that's one of the big things that drew me here, is just how everybody comes together and helps everyone.
Well, again, this morning we're talking to Miss Vickie Orcutt of Faith in Action Georgetown, and appreciate her being on the show. It's been some time, but good to have Vickie back. You know, Georgetown, of course, is the most popular place in the United States to move if you're a senior to retire. It's still on the radar. We have so many wonderful seniors in our community, and that's really where Faith in Action plays a very important role. And, Vickie, I'm going to kind of segue into Faith in Action now. That Faith in Action in Georgetown been serving our senior adult community for 19 years with transportation to medical appointments, grocery shopping, and personal errands, as well as other services that allows individuals to age in place. We currently support more than 915 seniors annually through 409 volunteers. It's Faith in Action doing incredible work. Vickie, tell us a little bit more about Faith in Action, kind of how the organization got started, and we'll lead with that.
Absolutely. So Faith in Action did come together as a result of 9 churches who pooled their volunteers, their congregates together. They were getting a lot of requests for, how do we get our folks to medical appointments? And if you have a select group of people, that's great. But what if those people are not available? So let's come together and pool our resources. And so from there, our board was formed, and we've been, going at it, like you said, ever since 2001.
Well, the organization just does incredible work. And I talked about just a few moments ago how Georgetown, one of the top, if still not the top place in America to retire. So, Vickie, as you know, there's a lot of, very well, more than maybe anybody, this community, that there has to be transportation needs for our seniors. How does that process work, and how has it been over the years for these seniors?
Well, what we have seen is that, as someone ages and different chronic health conditions can begin to limit someone's ability to drive, whether it's the physical side of just your concern of safety and your reaction, or maybe you have a hearing loss. And so, that particular limitation can cause you to have a slower reaction. Vision, we see that that's a major reason why folks come to us. Macular degeneration, seems to be pretty prevalent. And so again, if you don't have your senses, it makes it very difficult to be able to drive. And so if individuals find themselves in that situation and they want to, take responsibility and keep the community safe and get off the roads, then they contact us. And we do have a couple of eligibility from the standpoint that you need to be 65 years or older, you live in your own home, and you're able to get in and out of a vehicle on your own. And then lastly, just from a cognitive standpoint, that you are able to coordinate your own rides. And so when someone sees that they have that need, they can reach out to us, and we will send somebody to your home to do paperwork and get you signed up for services.
We live in such a tremendous community, and there's so many folks that volunteer, Vickie. Can you talk a little bit about that process and how folks can get involved? 409 volunteers, I believe, is what I read a while ago. How incredible is that?
The numbers at the end of last year. So those have continued to grow. And yes, a great shout out to our volunteers, because they are just absolutely awesome. I love, when we have a need, especially we provide 2 rides a week for a senior. And we have to limit that so that we can serve the large number of individuals. Because as Rob has indicated, there's a lot of seniors here in Georgetown. As a matter of fact, we're double the national average. So yeah, trying to stay on top of that in those 2 rides. But from time to time, we get someone who is going through cancer treatments or dialysis or what have you, and we know that they have to see their doctor on a more regular basis, and so we will make some oh gracious, just lost my word there. We'll kind of work with that situation, and we'll put a call out to our volunteers and say, hey, can we, get some extra help here and shore this up? And so yes, we're able to, step in where, someone, needs that extra help. And it's our volunteers always going above and beyond. If you'd like to volunteer, we, pre-COVID, our website had our orientations. We have 2 of those a month. And so if you're interested, you can go on and see what those dates are. You can go on our website and you can see that schedule as well. You can see where you can get an application, and so folks, they need to apply. We do a background check. We want to make sure that, we have screened our individuals and we're keeping our seniors safe. And so we will do a criminal background check and a driving background check.
I wanted to show, we're talking to Vickie Orcutt this morning. Appreciate her time. Appreciate you being up early. We bumped the show back an hour. It used to be from 7 to 9, and I said, I need just an extra hour during the day, and I think a lot of people are getting up. We call them the 4 a.m. warriors here on HRN, Vickie, and there's a lot of them, and so we bumped it back an hour to 6 to 8, and so, again, appreciate you being up with us bright and early this morning. There is a video real quick that I'm going to play, and I believe there's some audio to it. It's just it's volunteering with Faith in Action. It's off your YouTube channel. Is that okay if we play that here for our folks on YouTube? I mean, on Facebook?
Absolutely.
We'll play that real quick.
This is Fia, but you can call her Faith. She is one of the many cars that roll around town taking seniors to different locations. There's over 350 of them that drive seniors to their doctor's appointments, hair appointments, and the grocery store. They make sure that your neighbor can stay independent and maintain their quality of life in the home of their choice. Here's what a few of her friends have to say about volunteering. It allows me to give back to my community, engage my kids, and meet new people. I want to do my part to help make Georgetown a great place for all ages. I always get much more than I give. Older people have so much wisdom to share. Faith thanks all the volunteers for sharing their time, talents, and cars with our seniors. There is one more special vehicle called Faith in Action Go Van Go, or the van for short. Mike, the van driver, takes groups of seniors to the grocery store, where they can shop, share, and socialize. With everybody's help, Faith and her friends are able to serve over 750 seniors in the Georgetown community. Last year, that was over 10,000 rides. With Georgetown continuing to grow, Faith would love for you to be a part of the driving force and travel around town with her. You can even help out as a volunteer on the van. Contact the office at volunteering@faithinactiongt.org or by calling 512-868-9544. You can visit the website at www.faithinactiongt.org for more information. Thanks for supporting the seniors of Georgetown.
Now, of course, those numbers, we're talking to Vickie Orcutt this morning here, the Executive Director of Faith in Action. Of course, Vickie, those numbers on that video, that was a couple of years old, so those numbers are a lot higher than what that video had said there.
Absolutely. That was 2018. 2019, we provided a little over 13,000 rides. And so, yes, we do see that an increase, just continues 26% in rides and 16% in bringing on new seniors. So is what the change was from 18 to 19.
Awesome. Well, Vickie, there's a couple more videos here. Is it okay if we play those? I always like to ask first. There's one here with your mission moment. There's also about a month ago one that you had posted with the Faith in Action overview. Would it be okay to show those really quick?
Sure.
Awesome. Well, we're going to play the one. This is the overview, and I know that we've talked a little bit about this, and we're just going to have a video here. This is Vickie Orcutt with, I guess it was just about a month ago. You guys had put this out on April the 3rd, and we want to show that as well. So stay with us, friends, and we'll continue to interview Vickie here in just a few moments.
Hello everyone, this is Vickie Orcutt, Executive Director of Faith in Action Georgetown. It's good to be out there and seeing everybody. I know this is a difficult time for us, as we're not actually getting to see each other face to face, but Facebook is awesome for that, and it's great to be with y'all today. I just want to reassure you that Faith in Action Georgetown is here for you. We do have staff that are working remote and available to assist our seniors. Our biggest concern right now is safety, and so for that reason, as I said, we are working remote and we are observing the stay home, stay safe, and we look forward in how it is that we can assist you. So we want seniors to live their best life, and we're here to assist. Please give us a call at 512-868-9544, or you can email director@faithinactiongt.org. Stay strong and know that we're praying for you.
Awesome. Well, that was Vickie Orcutt, who we're talking to this morning here, the Executive Director of Faith in Action, and appreciate Vickie's time of being on our show here this morning. Vickie, that's a good video to kind of lead into this whole COVID-19 situation, and I wanted to talk to you specifically. That was one reason we had reached out, is because I know that this has affected so many people, in fact, everyone at some level in so many organizations. How has the response been and kind of that whole situation with you guys and the response to the COVID-19 with Faith in Action?
Absolutely. It brought great concern to us because not only are seniors in the vulnerable population, but our volunteers are of the average age of 68. So, it was in all facets that we needed to be sure and protect those. And so we did suspend services March the 16th. And, one of the hardest things is we know that it's not just rides, it's relationships. And so now you've gone to not having these rides, and how do we stay connected with our seniors, and how do we help them to not feel isolated and just kind of lost in all of this. And so, as I said, staff went remote, and they donned their headsets and off they went to making phone calls. And so we reached out to those 900 individuals. And sometimes it took us getting to what we call their emergency contacts. We asked for those backup contacts, whenever you register with us. And so, making those phone calls and finding out where everybody was, what was their situation. And so just doing, what I'd call a mini needs assessment. Do you have access to food? Do you have, a need just to talk to somebody? Are there things that you're facing that you're not for certain of how to handle? And so that was what was really interesting is the comment was, we usually call you for services. It is so nice that you've reached out to us. And oh, how thankful we are that you would remember us. And so our staff was just tremendously blessed whenever we started making those phone calls. And the beauty is we found that most people, because, their family was not able to work and what have you, that they were assisting them. And so, like I said, the majority of them do have that connection, but at the same time, they're like, I love hearing from you.
How is it's incredible. I was gonna say, it's funny. I was in the middle of a sentence and then I decided to change my question. It's that thought that comes into the head, and I was about to ask you a question, and I was like, I'll change this. We're talking to Vickie Orcutt this morning here at Faith in Action Georgetown, doing incredible work with our senior community. That's got to be incredible. You had mentioned, the seniors are usually calling you, and you guys are now having to kind of flip the script and call them. I know that, of course, because of the COVID-19 safety, having to suspend services, and I know that is really tough. How have some seniors been able to get around, or have they been getting around? Have you heard any feedback from seniors in our community, Vickie?
So, basically Faith in Action, their pivot was that we would go to medical necessity rides. But what we were finding too in our conversation, when they would call in and say, oh, I have an appointment on such and such day, we would advise them to contact their doctor to see what their protocol was. Are they still seeing individuals? Do you have to stay in the vehicle? So on and so forth. And what we were finding is telemedicine. A lot of the doctors were introducing telemedicine. And so that's how a lot of folks have been able to continue to see their doctors. Excuse me. And then the other has been, if you are a retina patient, obviously you can't have injections by telemedicine. So, those particular rides and such, we've, made sure that folks can get to those appointments.
And we talk about these seniors and their families. How has the feedback been? Many of them probably not able to see their families right now. How has the feedback from that been?
Well, amazingly, the spirits are very uplifted with our seniors. And I think that there's been a focus to not forget about them. And I will tell you, I love all my other fellow nonprofits and what have you, but we do, in a sense, we kind of have this unspoken, or we do in jest say, oh, you've got puppies and children that you serve. We serve seniors. Y'all have the warm and fuzzy. Everybody's not real, emotionally heartstrings aren't pulled, serving seniors. Oh, but we've seen that completely different here in COVID. And so that's what's been amazing, is to see the outpouring of folks who have wanted to be there for seniors. Can we adopt a senior? Can we, write letters to them, so on and so forth.
Well, Faith in Action doing incredible work for our seniors here in Georgetown since 2001. We're talking to Vickie Orcutt this morning, the executive director. It's our pleasure to speak with Vickie again. Always good to see her here on Good Morning Georgetown and to chat with all the wonderful things going on in our community. Vickie, everybody's trying to navigate through this whole situation right now. As we talked about earlier, and those that are just joining us, we're talking just about the impacts that COVID-19 has had. As far as your organization, you guys are reaching out. You're helping so many people. I wanted to ask you, how can we as a community help out Faith in Action Georgetown?
Absolutely. Thank you. So one of the things that we ended up moving towards, or not towards, we're doing it, is a buddy program. And so going through and making those contacts to all of our seniors, we said, would you be interested in having someone check on you on a regular basis? And so we could definitely use folks who have that time to sit down and just, make a short 5, 10, 15-minute phone call twice a week to check in and just, say, how are you doing? What's going on? Are there any needs that we could assist you with? And we're not asking that volunteer to run out there and go take care of those needs. Whenever you obtain that information, you'd provide it back to our staff, and we have tons of resources and how to move forward.
There was another video here that I wanted to show really quick in between us chatting here, Vickie, this morning. And this is just some of the seniors in our community and the impact that Faith in Action has had on those seniors, just through the great work, again, that Faith in Action Georgetown has continuously been serving our country, our community since 2001. Vickie, I'm going to go ahead and play that video now, and then we'll bring you back here in just a few moments.
My name is Irma Jean Jackson.
My name is Gert Schreiner. My name is Anita Briggs.
I'm Starla Kelly.
My name is Amelia Cruz.
Hi, my name is Will Larson, and this is my wife, Beverly Larson. We've been members of Faith in Action, I believe, for 4 or 5 years.
Almost a year and a half now. I've been with them for a long time.
I quit driving my little red car. So at that time, I was just kind of scattered brain. I didn't know, how do you get to the grocery store? How do you get here, there, the library?
First of all, we have developed health problems, and as a result, it necessitated our giving up driving.
And I thought, gee whiz, I don't have to ride the bus this anymore. I could go anywhere in Georgetown, just anywhere. And it was like, to the quilt store? And she said, sure. And it was like, wow. They would take me around Georgetown, and they would help my life to become once again quite livable.
I think it has offered us freedom.
I can go wherever I need to go, and I never have to be concerned. It makes me feel very independent if I get somebody to take me and bring me back.
Faith in Action removes the spot of loneliness.
They don't require any kind of payment or anything for using it unless what you volunteer. But we find that very important thing to do is to send in occasional thank you checks for taking us here and there.
Giving people and how much they do for the community, It's been great, and anybody that knows me knows I just brag about Faith in Action everywhere I go. It's great. It's something very different that I had never experienced before. I enjoyed it, and I wouldn't change it for nothing.
A great service for the people who take advantage of it. We just wish them the best of luck and hope it's a flourishing group for many years to come.
Well, we were just checking out a little video there. For those of you that are on the app right now, of course you couldn't see that, but you heard a lot of the audio. We're talking to Vickie Orcutt this morning, the Executive Director of Faith in Action Georgetown. Appreciate her time and being with us. And Vickie, one of the neatest things that I heard on that, and I got to tell you, that is so heartwarming and just just so touching to hear from these seniors in our community and the impact that you guys are making. You know, a lot of us who drive, we take that for granted. We get in our car, we hit the gas pedal, and we're gone. There's many people, and seniors in our community especially, that don't have that luxury, that aren't able to do that. One of the neatest things that I heard just a few moments ago, Vickie, was one of the interviewers there. She said, "You mean I can go to the quilt shop? You'll take me there?" And that was just, man, that was really heartwarming. Talk a little bit more just about the services, and it's not just medical rides. So that's something that's really important that I wanted our viewers and our listeners to know this morning about Faith in Action.
Absolutely. Yes, we need to maintain our health. Yes, we need to have groceries to sustain our lives, but we're more than that. We have hobbies, we have interest. And so we have one individual, Miss Gert, that just loves to quilt. And when she found out that she could use one of those rides to go to the quilting store, you would have thought that, we had just given her $1 million. She was just so ecstatic. We also have other folks that volunteer. We have a gentleman that is a Kiwanis, a lifelong Kiwanis. And so we take him every week to, his meeting. And we have another person who is a veteran who volunteers with Rock. And for him to be able to go back and give back to his fellow men, servicemen, and how healing and therapeutic it is, for him. So yes, we're more than just medical and grocery. That's where the other comes in.
Well, it's incredible work helping our seniors here in our community and doing such wonderful, just amazing work. And I talk about it because I've got a heart for senior citizens. My mother worked with senior citizens for many, many years before she retired, and it's just a very special group of people, and it's so awesome, Vickie. We talk about this so much here in Georgetown about how people come together and how we work together. We live in a community where people truly come together every day, Vickie. How important have those volunteers been to Faith in Action that are helping you?
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. Until 2017, our services were strictly through a volunteer model. It wasn't until later that we brought on the van service that is actually a paid staff individual. So if we did not have just the giving hearts of our volunteers, because it's not just their time that they give, it's their vehicles, the upkeep, the gas. They do that all on their own. Our services are free to our seniors, and we're able to continue doing that because of our great volunteers.
We're talking to Vickie Orcutt this morning, Faith in Action, the executive director. John Montgomery of Roberts Printing joining us. He is our Monday co-host. Good morning, John. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Vickie. How are y'all doing?
Great. Good to see you, John.
Hey, you too.
Well, John had sent me a message a while ago, and they had the opportunity to do some of the graphics on the van for you guys. So I just wanted to give John an opportunity to ask you a couple of questions and to chime in here this morning.
Yeah, we did I learned about, Faith in Action when we did your door graphics, and then we continued on and did your van graphics. And I think what you guys do is amazing. And it's, I've referred so many people your direction when seeing stuff on Facebook about, hey, my, grandma needs a ride to such and such. And so I'm like, go talk to Faith in Action. That's what they do. But I did want to give you the opportunity because I know that you have sponsors to talk about your sponsors. I don't know if you got a chance to do that earlier before I got on.
So yes, thank you, John. Appreciate it. So yes, we had the opportunity to meet whenever we relocated to our new offices and wanted to make sure everybody knew where we were. And we also were very fortunate to receive a van from the St. David's Foundation because, we were finding we had lots of volunteers at the grocery store on the same day. And so, let's get a van out there and get some rides going that way. And then we can have our volunteers have those one-on-ones for the medical rides. And so when John took care of getting us all festive, as I call it, because now everybody knows who we are driving about town. And so, yes, sponsors to the organization are just amazing. They, again, allow us to provide rides free of charge to our seniors. And so, as a matter of fact, we just passed our scheduled date for our concert, which was to be April the 30th. We have an annual event where we bring the community together and churches sing and do a benefit concert. We've postponed that into sometime into September. We're getting ready to announce the date soon, but that is a great opportunity for businesses to sponsor that event. We promote you, through that evening through various ways on our social media and our print publications and what have you. But again, it doesn't have to be tied to an event. You can sponsor the organization. We have various ways that we partner with you and promote your organization and the support that you do in giving back to us.
That's awesome, Vickie. Thank you for all that you do. We're blessed to have you in the community. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Well, Vickie, before we let you go, it's a little after 7:30. I know that you've got a lot of things going on, and appreciate, again, your time here this morning. Just some final thoughts here before we let you go today, Vickie, and how can folks get involved or get in touch with you or Faith in Action?
Absolutely. So the best way to reach me as director at faithinactiongt.org, or our office is 512-868-9544. I do want to wrap up and just let folks know, if you're not aware, that tomorrow is Giving Tuesday now, and there are several nonprofits out raising funds to help during this COVID situation. And we'd love for you to go out and see how you can support us financially from that direction. Also, if you'd like to be a buddy, we have an opportunity for you to connect with a senior.
Awesome. Well, Vickie, as always, thank you so much. It's so good to see you again. And, whatever we can do, of course, here at HRN and Good Morning Georgetown on this platform and this show, just let us know. And by the way, if you have any news or events, John and I now run HelloGeorgetown.com. So please keep us updated of any events, because we would love to be able to talk about those on that website as well.
Absolutely, I will do that. And congratulations. I read that in the last publication.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, Vickie. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and continue the excellent work in helping our seniors here in our wonderful community. Thank you, Vickie.
Thank you so much, Rob. It's good to see you, John.
Well, once again, that was Vickie Orcutt, who is joining us this morning here on Good Morning Georgetown. We appreciate her time as they do incredible work. We've talked about that here this morning. And John, like you said, you had an opportunity to help them out and to work with them on some of their projects there. And just awesome, John, as we talk about how connected this community is and all of the wonderful things that go on. Just amazing, man.
Yeah, and it's such a great thing that we were able to do their graphics, because I've referred several of our elderly community over to them for that service that they provide. So just because we started that business relationship, I knew about them and was able to, help them, achieve their goals and help the elderly get their rides.
Awesome. Well, we're going to step aside, take a break. We'll chime in a little bit more with John here as it is 7:34 a.m. We will take our 7:30 break. When we come back, it's John Montgomery of Roberts Printing. We'll continue Good Morning Georgetown here on Hip Radio Network. Hope everyone is having a wonderful morning, and thanks for staying with us.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. Clear skies and quiet today with a high of 93. Winds out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 70 tonight. Overcast. Overcast skies again tomorrow. Chance for scattered showers. High of 85. High of 84 Wednesday under partly cloudy skies. 90 Thursday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 71 degrees.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is Hip Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Well, good morning, Georgetown, Texas, and welcome back. 7:35 a.m. here from the remote Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. It's always our true honor and privilege to bring you the show here on Hip Radio Network every weekday morning. John Montgomery of Roberts Printing is our co-host here on Mondays. We appreciate him being here as well. we just talk about Georgetown. We have a lot of fun. We talk about news and events that are going on around this community and all of the wonderful things that make Georgetown such an incredibly great place to live, not only to live, but to work and to play. And, if I go back 15, 20 years ago to say the word play, that may have been kind of hard, especially for young people, is that there just wasn't a whole lot of options here in Georgetown. I remember as a kid, we would go all the way to Round Rock to find things to do, and literally now you don't even have to leave Georgetown. We have so many wonderful opportunities to get involved, to be a part of things that are going on in the community, to volunteer, just so many awesome opportunities. John, you've been here for a while. I wanted to quickly talk about the recent opportunity that you and I had, thanks to Ken and Ann Partain with Hello Georgetown. Very excited about that opportunity. You and I have been connected. We love this Georgetown community. I was born and raised here. You've been here for a long time. Your business has been here since 1946. Just talk a little bit about that, John, and how exciting this opportunity is just to continue to promote and build upon something that was established that's great. I'm really excited about it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Ken and Ann did a heck of a job with building that brand for Hello Georgetown. People know what it is. Most people in the community have been on their site or seen their links on Facebook. So for us to have that opportunity to put that in our marketing, sphere, I think we can definitely, make them proud with the brand. That's kind of my goal, is to keep building that brand to make them proud of what we do.
Absolutely, man. And there's so much news and so much new development. In fact, today I've got to get in my car. I need to go drive around and talk to some folks with some new development. I've noticed 2 or 3 new projects that are being worked on that I haven't found much news on, and so I'm going to drive around today and get some information on that. We'll publish that on the website a little bit later today, and then we're working on a really awesome article. I had an interview yesterday with an incredible lady and 2 other women that have worked on this project called Adopt a Senior. And we are actually going to have them on the show on Thursday morning to talk about this. It is an opportunity for folks in the community to adopt, in a way, a senior from Georgetown High School, Eastview High School, and Richarte High School. And so it's just a really incredible opportunity here to get involved. And these seniors, John, your heart goes out to them because they've missed their prom. They've missed that entire, really that last few months of the exciting senior year. I remember my senior year and how awesome it was to think about, man, I'm going to be out of school soon. What's coming up next? We still don't know if they're going to have any type of a graduation ceremony. There's been some chatter in the community that there may be a parade or something like that. But as far as an actual ceremony, we don't know that yet. We don't know what's going to happen. And so we found this group on the internet. There's already over 2,000 members. We'll talk more about it on Thursday. We'll put the article out here soon as well. But really awesome that there's an opportunity for folks in the community to, in a way, adopt a senior. And this group on Facebook, John, basically just provides the platform to connect people together, where a parent or a guardian or even maybe a neighbor that has permission to do so will say, hey, John Montgomery's a senior this year. Here's what he likes and what he doesn't like. Will you adopt him? And then someone will comment and say yes, and then that starts the conversation, which is really cool. And they may get gifts, they may get, whatever they like. If someone can adopt them and take care of those needs, that's what's going to happen. And so you talk about 2,000 people in the group. I think over 350 seniors have been adopted, but the reality is we have over 1,000 seniors in this community. Now we're talking about seniors in high school. I know we were talking about senior citizens earlier, talking about seniors in high school. And so we'll hear more about that on Thursday, and we'll put the article up on the website at Hello Georgetown a little bit later today. John, I wanted to tell you, man, I don't know, have you noticed anything different with me, man?
Man, it looks like you fell into the wood chipper. Your hair looks like you cut down your beard a little bit.
Yeah, man. I'm working on some videos for SHN for our sports broadcasting business, and I said I'm looking a little too much like Brawny Man, and it was time for me to trim up a little bit. Here's the thing, though. There's no barbers open right now, of course. And so I went to the backyard, and I just decided to do it myself, man. I put that blade on number 3 and just went all across my hair. And then I looked at my neck, and I said, man, that is ridiculous. The neck was horrible, John, and thank goodness I have a beautiful fiance who said, let me take care of that for you, because I was not going to go out around town with a neck like that, man.
Well, actually, my fiance, we went and did mine, and so she did that, and shape me up a little bit here, and so I think it's the may have been the task of the weekend for a lot of people. Go ahead and bite the bullet and go ahead and do it.
Hey, it was looking good. We had to clean up a little bit, man. You and I both were starting to get a little grizzly, man. Well, hey, today, May the 4th. Are you into all that? Are you into any of that, John? I've never been into it, but I know a lot of people that are. It's May the 4th. It is National Star Wars Day today. What are your thoughts?
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Star Wars, John?
I thought it was cool as a kid. My son likes it. I took him one Christmas to watch one of them, and he's into it. But I'm not. I think it's it's all right, but I'm not like geeked out over it like a lot of people are.
Yeah, so everybody's got different flavor, and that's just one of the flavors that I've never really enjoyed. I don't know what it is to this day. I honestly, and people look at me like, "What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong, man? You don't know what you've never watched that." I'm like, "No, I got other stuff to do. I don't enjoy. I fall asleep in movies." I just finished the Transformers that came out back in the day with Megan Fox and Sasha, whatever the dude's name is. That it's a pretty cool movie. I just finished that movie yesterday. You know how many days it took me to watch that movie?
Probably 3 or 4.
It took 4 days because every time I sit down to watch it, and I don't have a lot of time, to really sit down and watch TV or movies, to be honest.
All right, I have a question for your people that are following us streaming or on the app.
Yeah.
If they, let's say you have a kid that hasn't seen any of the Star Wars, and you're going to show them all to them, what order do you show them? You show them the order that we saw them in, where we start at like 3 through 6 and then jump back to 1 through 3 and then up to 7, or do you start at the beginning? I'm just curious what people's thoughts are on that.
Yeah, what order do you watch those on? And by the way, if you're on Facebook, text us 512-686-2030. It's 512-686-2030. If you're on Face or you, I'm so confused today because I was playing YouTube videos a while ago. If you are on Facebook, feel free to comment and let us know if this is a day for you and what order do you watch them in. I don't even know how many there are, John. I have no clue.
I think we're up about 9 or so. I'm not sure either.
Everything nowadays, it's not a movie anymore. It's this long, drawn-out series that never ends. Seriously, think about it. Like, everything is turned into a series. Everything. I mean, there's movies out there. I guess that's kind of false, but it's almost everything that you watch is this long, drawn-out series now. And I just don't have time for it. I don't want to get into it because, one, I'll fall asleep. That's the first thing. The second thing is I just don't really have time to get into it. And, we've been in a transition now, of course, with Hello Georgetown, but then also on the sports broadcasting side, we're working on some really cool rebranding stuff for SHN. And, man, this past 2 weeks especially, I've generally been waking up around 4 a.m., sometimes 5, and then not getting into bed until 10 or 11 at night. And last week, man, it took a toll on me. So this weekend, I slept a little bit longer than I normally do. I got out of bed at like 7:30, which to me was late now.
Well, you didn't have a car on Sunday, so you really couldn't go anywhere Sunday morning.
Yeah, man, I wanted to share that with our audience, and I'll have to dig up my picture here in a minute. I may go to a break so I can pull that up here in just a minute, but John, you guys did some incredible work. I want to give you an opportunity. Maybe you can talk briefly about the process of how those vinyl wraps work, if you don't mind. And while you're doing that, I'm going to pull up the picture of what you guys did for me because, man, it's just incredible. I mean, it's super affordable, and the way that it works, I mean, even my brother was like, man, that is – and my brother's kind of a perfectionist at some things. I love him to death, but he wants things to be really awesome when they're done. He goes, man, that's incredible. So tell us about that process, John, and how those wraps work. And while you're doing that, I'm going to pull up a picture of how my car turned out, man.
Yeah, basically we have templates. So we start out by getting the year, make, and model and any specific, like if it has like a longer wheelbase or what kind of cab, bed, that kind of thing. And so then we start with that and the logos from the company. And then we just kind of go into a design process until we get the design right. And once the design's right, then, we take some prep time to get the files ready. And then we print them, laminate them, and then install them. One great thing about the wraps, though, it actually protects the paint. And so if you have a car that's been out in the sun, that's, let's say you have a 2020 car, and then you have a 2020 car that's wrapped, the same vehicle, in 3 years, the one that was unwrapped will be faded because of the sun. You can't tell usually that it's faded until you put it side by side with one that had been wrapped. It wouldn't be faded because the fading's not huge, but you'll visibly be able to see a difference. The wrap also will help against rock chips, door dings, like people scraping it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown away, John. You guys always do incredible work, but when I saw this yesterday, I was blown away. I was like, "You got to be kidding me! This looks better than when it was just regular paint."
It's awesome,
man. So I'm sitting here thinking, if I ever had a car that needed a paint job, instead of doing the paint job, I mean, if there was dents and rust, all that have to come off first. But I'm sitting there thinking, man, it'd be better just to wrap the car. It almost seems like it'd be better just to wrap it. Some people do that, right? I've seen like this metallic wrap where the light hits it and it looks different colors. And I mean, some people wrap their cars just to wrap them, right?
Yeah, we get quite a few. It's called a color change. Sometimes they don't actually change the color. Like we'll get a brand new Tesla that will just want to wrap it the same color just so they can have that paint protection. And so, but yeah, you can do a color change where you just do like, say you have an orange car and you want it red or anything else. Plus, like you said, there are metallic colors. There's chameleon colors, just all sorts of crazy stuff.
When did you get into doing these wraps, by the way? Because it kind of became popular here, about a decade ago or so?
Yeah, I think we started doing vehicle graphics probably 5 years ago, maybe 5.5, something like that. And then got more into the full wraps and then, doing 1 or 2 full wraps every week at least on top of everything else that we do here.
Well, I was amazed at y'all's installation facility because, in this hot Texas heat, especially coming up here in a month or so, I was like, man, it's got to be blistering when they put these things on. And then I go in and you guys have a really nice, clean facility. And most importantly, the whole thing's air conditioned where you do this at.
Then that's why I picked that unit when we got, the installation facility. Because before that, we would be doing them outside or try to find a carport or a big tree to do it under. And that just wasn't, feasible, especially when we start doing as many as we've been doing.
It's crazy, man, how it's done, too. I mean, I was looking. You gave me a little demo piece and said, hey, is this the colors? Will this look okay? And I peeled it back. This stuff is, it's very strong, but it seems like it's pretty thin as well. I mean, it's going to protect everything, but it's like, man, if you didn't put that on there right and you had to peel that off, that would be a disaster. So you've got to be very precise with how you put it on.
Actually, we use the Avery wrap kit. It's one of the best out there. There's other companies that use some off-brand stuff like that, but we want to use the best stuff when we provide our products. You could actually take that piece, rip off the backing, ball it up, and then unwrap it and hit it with a heat gun or a torch and get it back to exactly where it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is pretty incredible because I'm thinking about, whenever we do stuff with tape and stickers and all that and in the sports broadcasting world, it's like if it accidentally touches anything, it's hosed,
Yeah. Well, sometime when you're over here, I'll show you a little demo on that with the torch and everything.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. John Montgomery is our Monday co-host here on Good Morning Georgetown. I want to welcome everybody in today. Today is also National Bird Day, if you like to watch birds. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I used to go to my uncle's. He lives south of San Antonio in Helotes, Texas, and I always enjoyed going to my uncle's because he had very beautiful property in his neighborhood, and it was really cool at his backyard because it kind of was – it went downhill a little ways, but it was all wooded, and there was birds everywhere. And I remember as a kid, they had this really – I don't know what you call them. The windows that come out of the wall, there's a name for that. Obviously, I'm not in construction, so I don't know what it's called, John. But, the windows, it's like that day, I don't even know what it's called. Somebody out there knows what it is. I'm talking about a window that you can sit in, and it comes out of the wall.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? I just don't know the name of it, like a daybed type window thing. There you go. Daybed window thing. But They had an area that you could sit there at the window, and they had binoculars. And I remember as a kid, it was really cool going over there because they had birds everywhere because my aunt would put out bird feed. And I would sit there as a kid, and I would watch birds. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's really cool. Pretty neat.
Maybe it's just a window seat.
I don't know what it is. There's an actual name for it, and I cannot think of that name. If you know what the name of those windows are, could you please tell me? Because it's
there you go, bay window.
Bay window. That's it. There you go, man. Because that's going to drive me crazy. So the day is National Bird Day. It's all. Oh man, what is this? National Candied Orange Peel Day. Oh, that just does not look good. I like the orange sugar, like the little orange candies, the orange sugar gummy things, whatever they are. This does not look good. It's National Candied Orange Peel Day. It's observed annually today. Candied orange peels are a boiled peaches or oranges. Come on. Chefs and bakers like using them to add bright flavor to dishes as well as beautiful garnishes. This is from nationaldaycalendar.com. Often used in holiday baking such as cookies and fruit cakes, they also add flavor to other foods. Add them to granola, tarts, and other pastries. You know, I bet I've had these before. I think that I have had these. It's like little chunks of oranges that they put into different candies and stuff. I've had these before. You can dip the candied orange peel in milk. Oh, no. Oh, my good. No, thanks. Or dark chocolate for a wonderful flavor. I don't think I'll be celebrating that day today, though. It's National Renew Day, John. Curious to hear what this is. National Renew. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, renewal is defined as the state of being made new, fresh, or strong again. It's the state of being renewed. The day has been correctly placed in the spring when plants are sprouting. Well, that's what they say. What is it? April showers bring May flowers, right?
Right, yep.
We should have a lot of flowers coming out here in May. I think it's been a little crazy, though, because a lot of the flowers have already started to bloom because of the different weather that we've had. So why don't you open up the windows today, John? Go ahead, John.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of showers. I was actually thinking about on, I think, May 1st, we had that big storm. I was like, man, I thought these are supposed to be over.
Yeah. Oh, we have. It's been a lot of rain, which was good. I cleaned out the gutters, man, because they were so bad. You know, I'm wondering if those leaf guard things are really worth it, honestly. I mean, I guess if you're older, you can't get up there and clean the gutters, but, dude, it took me like 15 minutes to clean out my gutters, and they were completely clogged. And I was like, 15 minutes on a ladder versus a couple $1,000. I'll do the 15 minutes on a ladder any day, man.
Really, any day? Because I got some gutters in my house you can come clean out.
Yeah, we won't do yours, though. You know, I'm not my insurance won't cover that, John. I can't. It's stay at home, stay safe. I can't really get out right now, John. Sorry. It's National Renewal Day, though, today. The house might need to be infused with a little fresh air. Friendships might need some reconnection to renew them. Well, has the romance gone stale? Add a spark, bring some new life to it. Has the diet seen better days? Find a little color, add to it, and you might find a little pep in your step. Today, friends, that is the message every day. Sometimes, John, it takes us a little bit of time to get to it, but today's message is find a way to renew yourself today. How can you renew yourself today? Maybe there's been a situation in your life that you have just been trying to move past. How can you renew yourself today? Make that decision today. We always try to bring some sort of a positive thought every morning, and sometimes I don't get to it until the end of the show because honestly, John, I don't sit down and plan on what I'm going to say in this show. You just can't do that on radio. You really can't. You can have a guideline, which I have, but especially with me and having ADD, I can't follow that guideline. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't know what's going to happen on this show. It's cool. I never know what's going to happen on this show.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't have an outline or anything. At least you have an outline. I'm just like, hey, you just tell me to show up and look like a mountain man, and you know.
Well, it works out, man. So that's it, man. That's National Renewal Day today. How are you going to renew yourself today? I encourage you, if there's something that you've been working on, there's something that you have been wanting to do, it takes self-discipline. Today, you've got to do it. Of course, we talked about National Star Wars today. May the 4th be with you. You notice that? Sorry, you notice that in my voice. I'm not a big fan. Now, though, I'm excited about this. See, I don't get excited about May the 4th be with you, Star Wars, but I get really excited about this, John. This is where people can be like, what's up with this dude? It's National Weather Observers Day today. I'm excited about that, man. I love the weather.
Have you booked your tornado tour yet?
Not
with your buddy?
No, Jeff. I need to get with Jeff, man. You know, in fact, yesterday, John, and I kind of hate to bring this up, but it is part of history. May the 3rd, 1999 was one of the most devastating tornadoes that has ever been recorded in history. Happened in Moore, Oklahoma. In fact, that community has been hit 23 times since the late 1800s. And yesterday was the anniversary of the 1999 tornado. Now, they've been hit again in 07, and then the big one in 13. But that tornado in 1999, May the 3rd, 99, literally changed the way that weather forecasters classify tornadoes. They moved to the enhanced fajita scale after that. It used to be the F scale, the fajita scale. That storm was so devastating, they recorded winds over 300 miles an hour. Can you imagine that? 300 miles an hour in a tornado. That is unfathomable. I don't understand it. I've got family in that area that lived in that area for quite some time in Tuttle, just right outside of Moore when that storm started. But it's National Weather Observers Day today. Weather observers often assist the National Weather Service as storm spotters. I'm going to tell you something really cool. We mentioned so much about how Georgetown is a great place, not only to retire, but because of the retirement, there is a lot of volunteers. And I went, and I don't know when they're going to have them next, but they had one a while back, well, a couple years ago at the Weir Volunteer Fire Department. If you ever get a chance, I encourage you to do this. If you ever get a chance, go to one of these storm spotter trainings. It's only a couple hours, John, and it is really cool because you will learn a lot about weather. Really awesome. And it's free. You just go to it, you show up. There's a trained meteorologist that'll teach you how to spot storms and how to report them to the National Weather Service.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, man.
I'd never even considered that, but yeah, you get some good information.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I mean, you know, a lot of people go and they don't, after they go, they just go to learn. They don't really report anything. But you learn about Cocoa Ross, which Cocoa Ross, it sounds like something you eat in the morning. Cocoa Puff, what is it, Cocoa Puffs? Cocoa Ross. And basically it is a program where you report rainfall that happened, and it's this national database. It's pretty incredible because you can go see what someone in your neighborhood reported as far as rain, and then literally a street over, it's like they got 1/10 of an inch and you reported 1 inch of rain. Because that's how weather differs. It's so incredible how things can happen with weather. These hobbyists, talking about National Weather Observers Day today, these hobbyists are valuable resources for communities. This day is also an opportunity to get out and learn about a variety of weather phenomena. Do you say phenomenon or phenomena? Phenomena?
Phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Every time I hear that word, I think of the phenomenon.
The history, you can learn about the phenomena of weather, the history of weather tracking, and find out about meteorological instruments. Around the world, weather stations and weather spotters contribute to hundreds of thousands of observations a day. From land, sea, and sky, these observations provide valuable information that helps predict weather and warn of impending storms. They also contribute to historical data that is studied and may help better to understand weather phenomena. That's going to be stuck in my head the rest of the day now. And then on a very serious note today, friends, before we let you go, we got about another minute here. Today is also National Melanoma Day. Melanoma Day, the first Monday in May. It's an awareness campaign during National Melanoma Month, which is this month, by the way. The American Academy of Dermatology has set aside this day to raise awareness about skin cancer. Of course, many of you know melanoma, a type of skin cancer. It's the deadliest of skin cancers. The observance focuses on skin health, sun safety, training or tannin prevention, and skin cancer screenings. By providing resources and information, it's hoped to reduce the number of melanoma diagnosed. Well, now, while melanoma and other skin cancers aren't 100% preventable, there are ways to reduce your risk. Now, we've heard about this, friends. You really need to listen because this is very serious. Wear sunscreen to protect yourself from harmful UV rays. Reapply sunscreen throughout the day as well. Other types of sun protection include wearing a broad-brimmed hat, long sleeves, and pants. Don't forget the back of your neck. I think that is one so common. I was at my niece's second birthday this weekend, John. We were in the backyard. I think it was her grandma, my mother-in-law, bought her this blow-up pool. Oh, man, it literally took me an hour to blow this thing up. And I had a compressor, John. I had a compressor. But this little blow-up pool, the problem was it had 8 areas that you had to blow up. 8 areas. Why couldn't they have just made it into one? 8 areas that you had to blow up. And I was sitting there in shorts, but more importantly, my neck was exposed. And I reached back, my neck was on fire, man. I didn't wear sunscreen. Other types.
It's funny. I can see the frustration I can hear the frustration in your voice over this 8 areas of pool you had to blow up.
Yeah, and then what's more frustrating is all the little kids there. Is it done yet? Is it done yet? I'm like, no, it's going to be another 4 hours before we're done blowing this thing up. Oh, man.
At least the sun will go down by then, and, then they won't have to worry about sunscreen.
Yeah, no joke, man. Other types of sun protection include, we talked about wearing a hat. Find shade. Trees, umbrellas, awnings provide excellent sun protection on warm, sunny days. Don't let the clouds fool you. This is really important. This is one that we think, okay, the clouds can protect us. Don't let them fool you. UV rays still reach the earth in your skin, even on a cloudy day. Avoid tanning beds. Avoid tanning beds. Avoid tanning beds. The UV light in tanning bed puts you at risk for melanoma as well. Regularly check your skin for abnormal moles. If you notice changes, see your dermatologist to have it checked. Today is National Melanoma Day. It is also Melanoma Awareness Month here in May. John, it's 8:02. We got to go, man. Final thoughts before you depart, my friend.
No, just I appreciate all you do, Rob, and like I do every week, I want to thank all those frontline workers, healthcare, first responders, grocery store employees, everybody out there that's been keeping us going. Food delivery drivers, that's been huge at our house. So thank you all for being essential. We appreciate it.
As always, we appreciate all of our audience. A lot of folks joining us this morning. Not a whole lot of chatter like there normally is this morning. Now, I got started a little bit late. Frank Miranda was joining us. Michael Price at the Georgetown Beard Club. Appreciate you. Lexi Elliott sending us a wave. Good morning to you, Lexi, and many, many others on the app. Hey, by the way, wanted to let you know, if you don't have the app, I know that a lot of folks see this program right here on Facebook, but there's more to HRN than just this morning show that we have every weekday morning from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. We play music, commercial spots. You get to hear about businesses in our wonderful community, news and events, much more, 24/7, 365. Download the Hip Radio Network app. It's Hip Radio Network on your Android or iPhone. John, now that the car is wrapped, I want to do some sort of a really cool campaign to where it's like snap a picture of the car with a hashtag somehow, and there'll be prizes for that. What do you think, man? I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did something like that when we did our first Roberts printing vehicle, and people definitely participated.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that, man. Well, Roberts Printing, taking care of Georgetown for all of your printing needs, printing everything but money. It's Roberts Printing online at robertsprintingtx.com. Have you guys rolled out the new online ordering system yet, John?
Yeah, we did for the if you wanted to order any banking products, checks, deposit books, forms, promotional products. There's a whole bunch on there. I don't know if my website's been updated, but if you go to RP for Roberts Printing, rp.printing.com, that goes right to that order platform.
Sweet, man. Well, I think it's incredible. A lot of people are like, we want to be able to order online. You guys are always staying with what people need. In fact, you're staying ahead of the curve on a lot of things of what people need. And that's what really helps you guys stand out in the community. And more importantly, you do excellent work, John. So appreciate all that you do, man. And again, thanks for the car wrap, extremely affordable. And I'm excited to drive around, man, and get a little bit of vision on that, man. So thank you for that. It's a mobile billboard.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you. And just one more thing. If anybody needs any of the acrylic stands for their retail business, we have one on our counter, which kind of separates the employees and the customers. We have those, as well as the distancing circles. If you want to have the 6 feet of distancing kind of to outline for your customers. So we have that available. Just let me know.
Awesome, man. And I know there's some restaurants in the community. I wanted to make one last statement here, John. There's some restaurants in the community that are bringing musicians in. We have the platform to be able to do a very professional video production. And so at HRN, we are offering that service at no charge right now. If you know of anyone in the Georgetown community, maybe you're a restaurant owner that has bands coming in, I don't mind coming out and live streaming those bands here over the next couple of weeks at no charge. We want to help out. We want to give back, and that's one way that we can do that. So just let me know. If you've got a band coming in, they want some exposure. John, it's crazy incredible. We did over at Ken with Ken and Jody at Ken's Guitars this past Friday. That video, I think, has been seen almost 2,500 times. And so it's an incredible opportunity. And by the way, we are in May now, and here in the next few days, I'm going to wrap it up this week. We're going to make a final push for auction items, for our auction that is going to be benefiting businesses here in our community. That auction will be held sometime here soon. Within the next couple of weeks, we will announce the official date, though, here this week. Just finalizing a few things. There will be an online auction to help benefit businesses in our community. If you have items that you would like to donate, we still need a lot of items. We're still looking, honestly, for about 30 to 35 items. We're going to put an article out on Hello Georgetown about that as well, and then that will be going out in the newsletter. So we're going to make a final push. We've already have the businesses that need support. Now we've just got to find more items to be able to bring them support. You can find out more information about that at hrngeorgetown.com/auction. If you'd like to donate an item, it's hrngeorgetown.com/auction. John, as always, appreciate you, man. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for being here with us, man.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, well, that's John Montgomery of Roberts Printing, who joins us every Monday here as my co-host. We'll be back on the air, of course, tomorrow morning with Good Morning Georgetown. You can catch us every weekday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on Hip Radio Network Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown radio station, online only. Download our app, Hip Radio Network. You can also listen online at hrngeorgetown.com. Friends, as I remind every single day on every single broadcast, I want to remind you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there this morning and today needs you. Good morning, Georgetown, and God bless. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Have a wonderful and great start to your Monday. Take care, friends.